Namaste. Welcome back, fellow lightworkers and seekers. I'm Danielle with Holistic Harmony. This is Pete with Holistic Harmony, another member of our tribe that I would like to introduce to you all. So welcome, Pete. Thanks for filming with me.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my God, of course. It's always fun to have another energy here to film for obvious reasons, but it just feels so much better to have like support and company. I love it.
Absolutely.
Awesome. I high five everybody that comes on this little segment that we have here.
It's a little less informal than a handshake, but that's just that kind of vibe. It's good.
Because we've known each other for how long?
Oh God. What was it, 14 years? Something like that?
Oh man, really?
Yeah. 04 was when we met, right?
Yeah.
Early 04.
Yeah.
So it's been 15 years.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my God. All right. Yeah. So 15 years.
15 years.
I don't really have that many friends that I've had for 15 years. I don't.
I can't. I mean, I have a few. It's a very small number. Most other friends have just kind of come and gone. But hey,
we're going strong.
Hey, yeah, exactly.
Well, you know what? That's very special to me because I definitely don't have that many relationships that have stood the test of time. I've also had passings, right, which we know about. So to have a friendship for that amount of time it's very beautiful to me and very special. So, thank you for that. And we met because we worked together at
Ruby's.
I was gonna say, are we naming names?
Are we naming names?
Naming names?
Who cares? We're not there anymore, so it
True.
doesn't really matter.
That was a good experience for me, as interesting as it was. That was a good experience for me to learn my worth and navigate through lots of tasks and responsibilities in a seemingly small company, but very important family-owned business that absolutely has lots of proceedings of reputation and long-standing relationships and a strong family business, which is super dope. I love that. I grew up in Richmond Hill in Queens. That's where that business was founded, coincidentally, and so I worked in that main building that connected me to Pete. And we worked in the arts graphic department. What business I had there, I do not know. I took a lot of courses in college and beyond, and that was fate. That was pure fate that landed me there.
Yeah.
I loved it. I love the nerd aspect of it, of being on the computer. Oh, yeah. I feel now, and I joke about this all the time when I'm teaching and somebody goes to sign in, God forbid they try to purchase something. I am not knowing how to use the app at all, and I can't scan things and swiping a credit card. I'm like, if you get charged for this 15 times, I'm really sorry. What is wrong with me? I used to be the go-to person. One of my first jobs was the computer person in the library. Yeah. So when the computers would freeze or people would have problems on the internet, I was the computer tech.
Yeah.
So I went from that to evolving to lots of other things. I mean, I remember being in Ruby's and having fun, just being in the environment and the culture of Max and the talking of the networks and how everything kind of intermingled with one another, and the new software that was coming out, and for Shizzle. Do you remember for Shizzle?
Yes. Oh,
in Photoshop.
Do I know for Shizzle?
Siloing out, I thought was fantastic. When I saw that for the first time, I was like, you could take out the whole background?
Yeah.
I was like, that's amazing.
Just so you guys know, for Shizzle is not an official term.
Oh.
For Shizzle was basically the name that we gave to a Photoshop action.
Shout out to Patrick for that. Remember Patrick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we have a lot of cool memories together in, a very odd way. Yeah. But, that quite honestly, was the beginning of the exploration for me of my mental health.
Yeah.
Because that time and space that I had to work with headphones on for the first time while I was doing literally 10 tasks at once. I was liaisoning with Stacy to China and, you know, helping proofread and getting images from the photographer and putting together the website and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know, all the other things.
Every other job that wasn't nailed down just kind of fell to you.
Yeah. So. And I think that that's been every job that I've ever worked, even in real estate. It was like all of the things that are unlicensed do. And I was like, got it. I like did all of them. And so the only things I couldn't do until I got my license in real estate was negotiate, deal with the lawyers. On some level I could, but on some levels I couldn't. And appraisals. Okay. And I couldn't show. I wasn't technically allowed to open up the house. So everything else I did. I took the pictures of the listings. I connected the leads to the agents. I did lots of crazy stuff. That was after Ruby's. But, you know, that was really the foundation for me to not only explore my computer nerd and creative side because, you know, there was a lot of catalog stuff that I would never have been exposed to if I didn't work there. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that I learned on the design level that probably helps me to this day when I put my stuff together without the help of, you know, you professionals, that has given me the foundation to even know what kind of eye to have. I took photography classes even to take pictures of listings. So I did a lot of weird stuff.
Haven't we all?
Yeah, Santina even pointed that out in one of my other interviews, you know, just like how many, you know, things came together and collaborated to bring me to here. So that brings me to us. And, you know, I just wanted to give the audience a little history about how we know each other, where our paths have led us to here, and how we felt about the last year that we've kind of executed the things that we've gathered that we didn't even know were for that reason. Right? Yeah. Because I think that's kind of just how it happened. It was like, let's do this. Okay, cool.
And all of a sudden, bam! And, you know.
3 times in a weekend, we're catering to 20 people, and I'm like, I'm beat.
It's like, I don't know about you, but I'm shot. I'm like,
totally shot.
I mean, you know, it's like, I could play for another 2 hours, but I understand.
Yeah.
That was pretty much how that was.
My butt's numb.
Well, yeah.
Totally.
I remember that.
I remember that too.
Like, damn it, Pete, pull up a chair.
Yeah.
Like,
so why are you sitting on the amp?
Why are you sitting on your amp? Like, it's comfortable.
For a period of time, yeah.
Yeah, after 15 minutes.
So we've done some really extensive yoga sessions, moon meditations, Reiki sessions, group therapy on some level. Yeah. And so you came on board as one of the first members of Holistic Harmony, other than the founder, myself. Yeah. You really were like the first person that I was like, yo, let's do some music to this. Yeah. And that was fun.
Yeah, it was.
And so, you know, what has been your music journey that has brought you to a place where you now can play for an audience of seekers in looking for growth in the moments that they're there, providing expansion and healing in a very short amount of time? What do you think it is that's brought you to that place? So loaded.
Yeah. Wow.
Right.
Just back up the truck and just dump it out. Cool. Honestly, I mean, without a doubt, I would not have been able to do this without the experience that I had playing in front of thousands of people at times.
Same with me with hair.
Yeah. So, that definitely adds to it. But, you know, the biggest thing is being able to discuss with you beforehand as to, you know, ideas and get a general gist of, you know, what you're kind of going for with, you know, with the meditations and everything else. And, you know, for the most part, I just try to create sounds that I kind of try to be there, but I'm not the center of attention. I'm not supposed to be the center of attention.
Yeah, it's strange, right? Because when you're on stage as a bandmate, which Pete has toured.
Yeah.
Do you want to name a couple of your tours real quick?
Yeah.
That you've been on?
Yeah, I used to play guitar for a band called Year of the Locust. We've toured with bands like Starset, Puddle of Mud, Tantric, Saving Abel.
Cool.
Devour the Day, Sons of Texas, Jake Ely's Red Dragon Cartel, to name a few. So yeah, we've been around the country several times.
Now I spent a lot of time with you guys in that band, and every time that I hung out with you all, it absolutely was so much fun, so much love. I actually experienced my own openness in singing with you, Tyler, and Ray, as I had mentioned before. That was so much, and Nicole. Was so much fun. Yeah, like we had such a beautiful union that night. And I really enjoyed going to your shows, especially when they were down the road from my house.
Oh yeah. Playing in your backyard practically. I mean, come on.
Really awesome. Perfect.
Yeah.
Super convenient for me to make it there. And, I had a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. And even thereafter, the after parties that I hosted here were epic. Yeah. I still have pictures that I don't think I deleted yet. But
no, they probably won't see the light of day.
They got to go on the cloud.
But, please, God,
no. We had a lot of fun. And, that was the way in which I was able to capture you on Snapchat while you were on stage, I think still makes me laugh to this day. That I'll never forget that.
One of those videos I still have.
To get glasses and horns on you while you're on stage and manipulating the sounds was great.
The fact that I actually stood still long enough for
that you know how hard that was? I was not in real time. During that time, I was one of those people that was living through the camera because there was no way. It was so hard for me to capture you. But anyway.
I mean, I look pretty good with cat ears.
It was great. So, some of the times that I've had watching you and your band perform has also been some of the times that I've seen you at your happiest.
Without a doubt.
At your highest vibes.
Yeah.
At, a time where you were able to be really comfortable and confident in Pete and the things that you provided and gave to that project. And that's really fun.
Yeah. The one thing that I've discovered about myself is, when I'm truly alive, I'm usually an easygoing, happy-go-lucky type of person, very approachable, very friendly, normally.
Yes.
But,
we're all human.
My soul really comes alive when I take that stage.
I agree. And I'm really proud of you because I was kind of surprised to see how alive you become when you're performing.
Yeah. Because
that's not easy. And being somebody who feels as though they have musical interests, if nothing else, when it comes to, outwardly exploring, to put yourself vulnerable out there and want to be on stage and therefore critiqued, if nothing else, by everybody else's thoughts and opinions and what they think is, beautiful and not. When it comes from the heart, it's really a lot to absorb when you open yourself up to the idea of other people looking in. And, for you to be able to embrace that and really run with it to as far as you were able to is really awesome. And that was really cool to see.
Yeah.
So being that I have known you for as long as I have, and then over the last few years to be able to support you in that way has been really fun.
Oh, I can't thank you enough for that support. Seriously.
I'll go to any concert. I'm just kidding.
You will.
Not true.
I mean, we were talking before about the Nothing More concert that with the
man.
Five Finger
Death
Punch.
We got rained out, yeah.
Well, Nothing More got rained out.
Right.
But we got to see Breaking Benjamin and Five Finger Death Punch.
Cool.
But
love them.
Yeah, but Nothing More was that was the point. That was the band that we really, really wanted to see.
Yes.
And, still haven't had a chance to see them live yet.
We will.
But we will. But yeah, the interesting thing about, performing live like that, and, it's belief in myself, belief in the music, belief in the performance. Mm-hmm. But we give off a certain type of energy because we believe in ourselves and the material, the performance. We've done a lot of hard work to put that all together. Choreography, rehearsals. You
guys were polished. After you came back from the Puddle of Mud tour, you guys were like, I was like, who the hell's that? I can't Snapchat them. They're like way too polished.
Way too polished. Wait, is that necessarily a bad thing?
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
But the beautiful thing about energy, that the kind of energy you give off, that positive vibe, is it's like a locomotive. It's the yin and the yang. You give it out.
That's an old school word, right? Locomotive.
Yeah. It's you put it out there, and then if the crowd is receiving you well, which you hope that they do, they give it right back. And then it starts ramping up and ramping up and ramping up.
Right.
And then it just becomes this amazing experience for everybody, not just for us, not just for certain people in the crowd. It's for everybody.
That's cool that you said that, because in one of my meditations last week, when I talked about energy and connecting to the aura, basically what I tapped into was having everybody call in all of their past thoughts, all of their future attachments, and bringing it right into the aura, the energetic field that's all around them, so that they can be fully present. And expanding on that, and the fact that the more you call in joy and gratitude and appreciation into your heart, the more you extend it out doesn't mean the less you have it. It actually means the more you grow it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a perfect, beautiful example of that. Because the more you live through your heart space and offer yourself out there in vulnerability, the more well received it could potentially or not be.
Yeah.
But if it is, it's going to come back to you tenfold. Yeah. And if it isn't, it's going to come back to you tenfold. It's going to feel just as bad. But to take the risk to put it out there and see and believe and have faith, that's what life's all about.
Yeah.
So, needless to say, when I started doing the new moon meditations, which my full moon story is on another video, please feel free to watch that. But when I started doing the new moon, I'm not really sure why I decided I wanted to do Reiki and meditation and asana I don't know. That's just
you're a glutton for punishment.
Yeah. Right. That would just be what I would want. Let's put it all together and make it an hour and a half and open it up to 20 people in a weekend. Yeah. That sounds good.
Sure.
Yeah. He was like, absolutely.
Yeah, why not?
Cool. Totally. And so we did. And that was fun. So I think it's fun for, the people that have gotten to know you over the last year in that way, to kind of know where you came from, what your background is. Do you want to talk a little bit about your experience and energy?
Sure. Oh, God.
I know, we're really going back into the books here.
Into hallowed antiquity. As far as music is concerned, I've been playing guitar on and off since I was like 18 years old.
So that's kind of late in the game, right?
Yeah, definitely a late bloomer. I've had quite a few gaps in between that, honestly, I could either write a book about or we could do 3 other videos on. I'm not going to do that here.
I think the 3 other videos are better. Nobody reads anymore.
True. Maybe,
unfortunately.
What if I did books on tape?
I do audiobooks like crazy.
Yeah, see?
We'll have to do both. Anyway.
Okay. So I've been
we're coming for you.
Was in a couple of different bands when I first started out.
Always rock, right?
Always rock. I've always been into a little bit of everything though. Blues, classic rock, a little bit of R&B here and there. Mostly, gravitating towards hard rock and metal. A lot of actually a little bit of techno EDM just for flavor.
So Pete and I are we're very aligned when it comes to musical tastes.
Yes.
We also stray very drastically as well away from each other, but we're very at the core aligned.
So the point where it's like we have to look at each other like, do I even know you?
Yeah. Or like, of course you're the only person that knows that.
Right. Yeah. Like you would find out about this particular artist because I know about that particular artist and how did I get here?
Right.
And
by the way, let me show you this something new.
Yeah, exactly. Which I actually do have a few new things to bring to your attention. But anyway, so the spirit, I guess the spiritual or the energetic journey really started for me when I started taking up martial arts. And
right, which was how old?
Oh God, when did I start? I was in my mid to late 20s, I think, when I started. And
also late.
Yeah, also late. Mm-hmm. I was late to a lot of parties.
Same.
I mean, I played hockey like my last 2 years in high school, and I didn't pick up rollerblading until I was like 14.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I dabbled in a whole bunch of different things, but I didn't really find anything like that I could really, really latch on to, or, the idea didn't even pop in my head until much, much later.
Okay. I had the same...
For hockey, for music.
I had the same conversation with Santina in a previous interview.
Yeah. So...
About how not knowing what... Like, I never was the kid that knew what they wanted to be when they grew up.
Right.
I was not like, I want to be the president. I want to be married. I want to be a firefighter. I want to be a priest. Like, that wasn't even like, no.
Yeah.
No, there was no agenda there. I was always kind of lost and opened at the same time to kind of like finding where I felt like I fit in.
Yeah.
So
for me, like, I figured out, at least one of the things I wanted to do, which was become an artist.
Right. For me, it was music, but I never knew how to like apply it. You know, I was always just like way too chicken to put it out there.
Right. But little did I know that I would become an artist in not one, but 3 different ways.
Yeah.
Because martial arts is an art.
Yeah.
Music is an art.
Martial arts is an art.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And of course,
music, graphic design.
Graphic design, which is my chosen profession.
And then keto.
Some people would say that makes me a BS artist, but
or a heart attack artist.
Oh,
sorry.
Keeping my eyes on that. I started training in Kung Fu, and I've trained for a good solid 5 years before I kind of plateaued and trailed off, but I still retain most of the principles behind it.
Oh my God, yeah, that's
that stuff stays with you.
Totally,
it stays with you.
I took karate for 2 years, 7th and 8th grade. Don't mess with me. I took Filipino Shotokan.
Yeah,
and I was like at a brown belt, so in your face, I was halfway to black.
So the amazing thing about that was that I had lost touch with my teacher and a couple of fellow students for a couple of years. Mm-hmm. Got back in touch and decided to go to observe a class that my teacher was teaching. Train with show everybody a couple of different things, and then towards the end of the class, there's a training exercise that basically looks like sparring. It's a lot safer than that, but to the untrained eye, you would think that we were fighting. Mm-hmm. But my teacher and I touched hands, and after about 2.5 minutes of, some pretty awesome stuff, he was like, dude, it's like you never left.
Yeah.
That's one of the best compliments I think anyone could ever get.
Awesome.
If you learn something like that you're passionate about, maybe it becomes your calling in life, maybe it doesn't. But you retain it to the point where several years later, somebody can actually say that for you. That's an awesome feeling.
Well, I could say from the yoga aspect of it, I'm always talking about information being stored in the musculature of the body.
Yeah, muscle memory.
Yes, I am talking about that in class during poses. Yeah. I'm like, hold this and breathe into it and bring it to the center of your chest, and you're releasing the information that's stored in the musculature of the body. And everybody's like, shut up. Get me out of this pose. But, I really like to remind people what we're doing here. And so the flip side of it would be, as I'm working people to release what's stored in the musculature of the body, there are other aspects that are going to be stored in the musculature of the body that are never going to leave because they're instilled in your core.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. Yeah. What else you got?
Let's see. What else?
Energy.
Yeah.
You work with chi.
Yes. So I actually shared this once. I had dabbled in yoga several years later. Oddly enough, I was doing P90X for a while.
I think that's how a lot of people get started in yoga. They're like, I do yoga, I do P90X. I'm like...
You're like, that's not really yoga, but okay.
No.
Well, not even that. It's
for me, whatever yoga, resonates with you is totally fine. I feel like whatever avenue is going to get you on the road of yoga, I don't care what it is. Right. If you're meant to dabble in it because you love it, you connect with it and find deeper aspects of it, you're going to. So people that do P90X yoga or Bikram or Ashtanga even, things that are so outside of what my comprehension is, because I'm a certain kind of yogi myself. I really respect it. And I still feel like it's important on every level, because whatever it is that's going to grab the person in to bring them to that next place is awesome. Yeah, absolutely. There is no lineage of what came first, what's better, in my opinion. I'm just like, whatever it is, do it. We're all evolving and growing as humans. So the culture of yoga also is going to evolve and grow to match where people are, to be able to speak with them. And that was always my problem in religion with reading the Bible. It was like, dude, I can't understand what this verse is saying. Yeah. It's so beyond me right now. Yeah. I need something that's going to connect more with, my human experience in, 1990 than, beyond wherever I can count. Yeah. So, life changes and people grow, and, there has to be more things out there that people can tap into. Sure. And so I don't really care how people get involved in yoga. Yeah. I just care that they do. Yeah. And they resonate with whatever they do. That's really the key. And, there are so many people that, this hasn't happened to me for a long time, but at first, when I first started training in Kung Fu, there were people that would ask, which is better, blah, 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 is this better than this? Nothing is technically better than anything else, because especially when it comes to martial arts and fighting in general, there is always a counter for everything. There is a yin to the yang. And people attach so much to the label of the status. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they think it's prestige. They think, all this other stuff. And the thing is, truly, there is never one idea that is actually better than everything else. There are going to be specific sets of ideas that fit you. Yeah. So what I always try to say to people is, find what you're comfortable with, find what you enjoy, and that's going to be your best system. For me, it was Kung Fu. For a couple other friends, it was karate or judo or capoeira. It doesn't matter. They're all viable in their own right. Right. And same thing with the yoga. And I've, after doing P90X yoga a handful of times and really enjoying it, trailed off for a little bit. And then a friend of mine who also used to work at Ruby's suggested that we try Bikram yoga. So that was I basically just dove headfirst into the deep end, not knowing what in God's name I was doing. What did I say? Yeah, exactly. So after that, I was like my entire body was I made it through. I had to take a few breaks because it was an hour. Did I do the hour and a half or the hour? I think it was the hour class. Oh, it's usually 90 minutes. Usually it's 90 minutes, which is brutal. Yeah. But I think the first one was an hour class, and by the time I was done, my entire upper body was buzzing. Mm-hmm. And I hadn't had a feeling like that in a long time. Sure. I think that's what people get addicted to. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. They get addicted to, noticing changes in their body that they are starting to realize slowly that they can have control over. Right. And it's also something that isn't disturbing. Right. So, and people go through cycles of Bikram. I feel like it's you love it for a while, and then you're like, that's so not what I'm in alignment with right now. Yeah. And then they kind of move back towards the avenue of I love it again, and it's cyclical. Yeah. Yeah. It depends on where you are in life. Mm. And when you do experience that buzz and that feeling for the first time, it's addictive. Yeah. And that okay, so it took me an hour and a half to get there, but I didn't have to destroy my lungs, my intestines, whatever, my veins. I got there without getting high. Yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say, you don't have to get there by taking a psychotropic drug. Yeah. You can,
you know, you can basically just sit in a sauna for an hour and do yoga.
Well, for me, that was like the, you know, without that extremity of it, that was the thing that really connected me to wanting to teach, because I was just like, you know, there's so many things that I can offer there out to a person that should be common knowledge, will help them so much with breathing, with the brain, with stress and anxiety, that I'm able to offer them that, you know, let me extend that out. And so I found my ultimate high by then offering it to other people.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I probably would have been Bikram too if I didn't find another avenue, you know, because I could see where you could get really caught up in that. It's beautiful to feel really open and alive.
Yeah. Yeah. It's awesome.
And really so we try to provide that with our meditations and our music that we put to it and our yoga practice and everything else that we kind of correlate together.
Yeah.
So thank you for doing this with me. I think it's important for our audience to know where you have come from and, you know, what your background is and stuff like that, because people kind of know us as, you know, a collaborative team that, you know, does these meditations and stuff like that, but they don't really know the human side of us. And I think it's nice for people to experience a different aspect of who we are and what we try to look for and provide. And we're just like you guys. We just have a little bit of time to devote to putting things together to help extend information. That's really all it comes down to, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you don't like this button, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this where we're getting real and just getting to know each other and our histories, and, you know, you want a second interview with Pete or anything like that, hit the like button. If you want to stay in tune with what we're talking about on this channel, Holistic Harmony, hit the subscribe. If there's something that you want to add, an experience that you had while you watched this, or something that resonated with you, please leave a comment below. Our links and our social media and how to get in contact with us will be in the section below. So stay tuned, and until we meet again, namaste.
Namaste.